No, the internet's great. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Always Almost There, Day After Show Live. We're coming to you directly from Providence. We're here together in a hotel room.
In Rhode Island.
In Rhode Island.
Yeah, at the venue.
We're in the venue right now, actually. Yeah. That's it, as you can see by the background. Yes, for those of you watching on Instagram, yes, you can only see Kev. So I hope you enjoy seeing his beautiful face because of the cropping. Hashtag just Kev on Instagram. But we're all here. And this is very exciting. It's Goosemas. You know, we are here for our annual, the three of us podding in the same room pod, which is a lot of fun. It's also our first day after show in like 6 weeks.
Yeah. Been a long time.
Good, yeah. How you guys doing?
Doing well.
I'm doing as well as I can for 3 straight nights of partying.
Yeah.
Which now happens when you do Goosemas, because now
night -1 is a thing.
Night -1 is a thing that you have to do.
You have to get in and be ready for night 0 by getting in the night before. So you know there's a lot that goes into
this. This is going to turn into like a 2-week vacation at some point.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Well, we have a show to talk about last night. We saw Goose last night. A lot happened. But let's talk about Neil. I know you have some sentimental attachment to this venue.
Oh, do you want to talk about like some old-timey?
Well, I mean, I think you were gonna bring it up at some point anyway, so you should tell the people why you have such an attachment to this venue.
So 31 years ago, almost to the day, I came into this building with my cousin who's here at the show and my brother who's here at the show today to see Fish play the Providence Bowie. It was here. It all happened. I was just a child back then, roughly about your age now.
No.
In any case, yeah, man, I've seen a lot of excellent shows here. I was here for the 2 Island Tour shows, and then, some rather unremarkable shows after that. But in any case, some big hot ones in there. And so I love this building. I have a lot of history here. I love this town. It's not too far from where I live. So just living our best lives here.
It's great.
Great. Big hot ones.
Big hot ones. It's big hot ones. That's the theme of today. Well, Goose, night 1 of Goosemas last night. We knew Show Upon Time was a thing. Barnaby Glimpse, researching the goo, fine fields for hooching indeed.
Yes.
And there were several Mother's Milk samples last night. Cotter was having a fun time up there.
Absolutely.
But yeah, didn't really know what to expect going into the show last night, honestly.
Nope. We could see some of the props walking in. We knew there was a theme around a tree
with goo,
and that's it. So purple, goo, and tree. I still have no idea what the hell is going
on.
No.
But you know what I do know, Neil?
What?
Goose is good again. For those of you who missed our fall tour recap, you may have thought that we didn't like this band anymore.
Oh, come on.
I think we were.
No, I know. We were kind. But after the somewhat inconsistent, shall we say, fall tour, last night felt like the band that we saw at the Man.
Yeah. So like zoom out, big thoughts about this show.
Yep.
The commitment to jamming was strong.
Yep.
Goosemas, I think, always takes them out of the regular mold. So it was like feeling a little bit different. And of course, we got some choice covers, but the playing wasn't super great, especially on composed sections. We had some big misses in this show.
There were a couple.
But everything else was fantastic. So it's like, I don't want to harp on flubs and talk about that stuff because it doesn't matter because everything else was sick.
Especially when they killed like some of the covers that they did as smooth as they did.
Like,
a flub here and there isn't going to upset me too much.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, it is kind of funny, like songs they've never played before, they absolutely crushed. And then Mavon just forgot how to play it, which is wild.
It happens. Yeah. It happens. Well, let's talk about the show. The lights go down a little bit late because there were some technical difficulties. The band was actually planning to start at 7:46.
And this is incredibly out of character because Goose is usually pretty timely.
It's true. If there's one thing we know about this band, it's that they show up on time. And so we had a little, ringmaster introduction from distant ancestor of Lucky Lou, Barnaby Glimpse. Also related to Kirsten Wintergreen. There's a whole family tree. I'm sure Goose will release it someday how all of these people are related.
Deep roots in Providence.
Yes.
For Kirsten Wintergreen.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. But so quick little introduction, a balloon drop on the first notes, and we get a dramaphone which like sounds this song fucks.
It sounds like a little bit like, you know, the bar scene
Yeah.
in
Wars.
Star Wars.
Yeah, it's a little bit like the Mos Eisley Cantina vibe. Yeah.
Mos Eisley Cantina.
Yeah.
Thank you. And that's what I thought it was. Like, I left my seat because I was sick of waiting.
Neil, actually, yeah, everybody who wanted the band to come on, you can thank Neil for going to the bathroom.
I made it happen. So I said, I'm going to go to the bathroom right now, and the band is going to immediately come out. And no sooner than I had crossed
Lo
the
and
threshold into
behold.
the concourse, they were out. So, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So I miss all that, but that sounds cool.
Yeah, but so there was a balloon drop. I think we lagged for a second. Haha. We had a balloon drop. We had people on stage in animal costumes. There were some like big puppeteer. Yeah, puppeteers were really cool. But I mean, this and we have Stuart Bogey on stage right from the beginning. He was there for most of the show, crushing it. But Rick's playing on Dramaphone. I think when you and I were listening back to it this morning, we were like, oh, like Rick crushed this song.
It was hot.
Yeah, it was great. Dramaphone, and then right into Creatures. Right. Amazing segues. I think the flow of the first set last night was really, really great. I mean, the whole show, but the first set, you know, especially with the theme, which was obviously animal related songs. I just think they did a really great job of keeping the momentum up through the whole thing.
I think that's right. Yeah, I agree. But Creatures was hot.
Yeah.
And then we got like a tack on end section somewhere in between Legend Valley Creatures and When the Saints Go Marching In.
Yes.
Nice mashup of those two jams.
Yeah, it's fun because we got a few of those familiar jamming themes that Goose does, and we got like they played like a lot of the hits last night. I mean, like the Legend Valley Creatures isn't one that they return to a lot, but you got the Saints adjacent where Rick is like this close to teasing it, but doesn't.
Yep.
And then later on we get that Spack Drive, Guilford Rockdale, Hunger Salt type of vibe. But this Creatures beautiful outro jam, and again from the beginning. It's like, don't worry, guys. Like, we're going to be jamming a lot tonight. Like, I think that was kind of a statement thing, throwing in the 18, 19-minute Creatures early on in set one.
Agreed.
Yeah. I'm going to pull up the set list here. And then from Creatures, we go right into Atlas Dogs. This was the first jam of the night where I was like, oh, they're doing something different here.
Right.
This was a really cool jam. And the sound wasn't totally dialed in at that point in the show. Like, I think that this is a tough room, I think. And by set two, it sounded really good, I think, but set one, it was a little kind of hard to hear the intricacies, and listening back today, you can really hear what Bogey was doing more during this jam. This is the 13-minute Atlas Dogs, but like highly recommend that everybody gives this a spin. It's really fantastic.
Goes a lot of places. And, you know, I think the moment that they actually dropped into the jam, we were all kind of like sitting there waiting with bated breath, thinking, are they going to do it? Are they not? And of course they start the jam and we're like, okay, so we know what we're in for now. We had the Creatures, we had this Atlas Dogs with jam. It's gonna be a good night for the jams. Absolutely.
Kev, anything to add on?
We're jamming.
Yeah. Indeed. A fine field for jamming, indeed. Well, from Atlas Dogs, we roll right into Redbird, just keeping the set going. And again, more great Bogey contributions in the jam. The Redbird does the Redbird thing for a while, and you get similar to the MSG version. I feel like they got kind of dark and spacey for the last couple of minutes, and then Rick decided that he was done with that.
He'd had enough.
Yeah, it was. He wanted to play Silver Rising, and he wanted to play it right at that moment.
Right then.
And then they played Silver Rising.
Yeah, which is like weirdly the low point of the show.
Yeah,
it's right there.
It
just felt like a weird choice, like in that spot.
And I think the way that they're playing it right now with the sequencer and just how the song is set up, I feel like the BPM is a little bit low. Like it feels like, and I love this song, but at this point, the way that they're kind of doing it live, I feel like it feels a little bit, I don't know. Slow. Yeah. I think
it's a first set, you know.
Well, it is a first set, but a first set doesn't have to be slow. And this song hasn't always been like that.
True.
You know, I think it's, I mean, I've talked about it a lot this year since they started playing it with that sequencer loop going on there, but I feel like they've slowed it down more since the album. And I think that this song benefits from a little bit of a faster tempo, but you know,
is what it is.
So our first cover debut of the night coming next, Bear, by Shouting Matches.
Yeah.
A Justin Vernon side project for those of you who are curious. And when I hear the words Justin Vernon side project, much like when I heard the words guitarless synth pop, I'm like, oh yeah, that's a Rick Materatonda band. Like, of course he's listening to that.
Yeah. You know, like Rick came and it's just like, we got to do this one.
Yeah,
And they're like,
just
"Wait,
converted
what?"
deep cut. Yeah. I mean,
but-
it's a great song.
It's a great song.
It's weirdly like grunge rock.
Yes.
I thought like
Yeah.
I was joking at the time. I was like, is this Silverchair? Like,
Yeah.
but like it was good. And the slide guitar part is really cool. Really hard to hear that in the building, but on re-listen today it sounded really good.
Shout out to D. James Goodwin on the stream mix.
The stream
Sounded
mix is beautiful.
phenomenal.
I don't think it was like ever officially announced, but like we know because he told us that
Yeah.
he's doing it, which is great.
Just for Goosemas. Yeah, special. And then slide right into Moby. I mean, you have the Moby DNA in Bear. And I feel like Bear also could jam in the future, but the way that they like kind of hung out in that groove a little bit before going right into Moby, and the way that like Rick started playing Moby, Peter got onto it, and then Trevor waited a little while before dropping the big like the synth effect, the Moby effect.
Right.
It was beautiful.
Really good. And I mean, best version of Moby to date? I
Yes.
don't know. Because it actually had that. My complaint about Moby in the past has always been sometimes it feels just like shoehorned into the set and it doesn't feel natural. And the song itself has this ethereal vibe to it. It sounds like spontaneously made because it was,
Yep.
right? But when they played it live, most of the versions I've heard them play just sound like sterile. I don't know. I can't
Interesting.
explain it. Like it just sounds recreated. Last night didn't sound recreated. It sounded like it just kind of fit into the jam.
Yeah. Well, I think this song is best when it segues out of something the way that it did last night, rather
Right.
than coming out of a hard stop, which I think
Right.
they do sometimes.
Yeah,
Right,
and this
that's exactly my
song,
point.
like just in general, is a great song to listen to while you're eating a hot dog on the concourse. Like when you're like fueling up for those late first set, vibes going into that second set, but you want to beat the crowds to concessions.
Let me tell you, we got to our seats last night before the show. Kev took one look directly in our sight line behind the stage. In the concessions was a sign for a hot dog place. And we get to our seat. Kev takes one look and goes, I'm going to be getting a hot dog at some point during tonight's show. It's like, I can't look at that for that long without. So yeah, Moby was the hot dog.
Hot
It's a hot dog song. And then after Moby, I think, the covers were sick. This was the highlight because this was the cover that I knew immediately. Pigs, 3 different ones by Pink Floyd. Absolutely crushed this cover.
I got it on like the first note of the organ.
Yeah.
It was just like, and like everybody around me, like one guy like noticed.
Right,
There's
like
like
the
a
few
woman,
people,
like 2
yeah.
people down. Like then she noticed, and then everybody.
Right, and then Rick played that first
Like,
guitar riff.
yeah.
Oh, but yeah, the trading of the vocals. I loved how Rick and Cotter, both took different parts of it. Peter on the clav on the B section was very nice.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say other than it's sick. We all know the
Bogey
song.
saxophone solo. That's what there is to say.
Yeah, seriously.
That was phenomenal.
It seems like there's some, and again, I don't want to take us off the train of going back over the show here, but there's like some controversy over whether the horn playing was an addition or a subtraction from the music.
I think, and I'm not usually one who's like, yeah, let's have horns up for the whole show. I think it benefited from it only being Bogey and not a full horn section.
Right.
Bogey has also done a lot of jamming with them before. He was at Luna Luna and spent 80 minutes straight just being in the middle of Goose improvisation. But I think that he was a great addition last night. I like that we got the big jam in set 2 without Bogey too. So it's like not everything has the saxophone on it,
Yeah, I mean, there were times last night where I just wish he would assert himself
Also
more.
that.
We know he is an excellent player, right? But a lot of what he was doing was like complimentary. So Rick would play a thing and he would augment the thing that Rick was playing. What I'd like to see him do tonight, if we're so lucky to have him come back, is push the melody in certain sections and introduce musical ideas, which he was doing later on in the show. In Dripfield, the interplay was
we'll talk
insane.
about that in a little while.
But like most of the show, I was just saying, like, come on, dude, just like give us something more, like don't just hold Rick up, challenge us with some things.
And I think Rick also, when like he would cede a part of the jam to Bogey to lead for a while, and I was looking for Rick to also go back and forth. I think about Grippo when that came up, and he and Rick were going back and forth the whole time. And I think that happened, as you mentioned, Dripfield. It felt like they were finally clicking. So yeah, hopefully if Bogey's back tonight, which I mean, I'm assuming based on context that he's probably going to be there again tonight.
What's the theme for tonight, guys?
Show up on time.
Yeah, okay.
Barnaby Glimpses show up on time. That's all we know. Maybe tonight will start at 7:46, but
We'll see.
it was only advertised as 7:46 on December 12th. So we'll see what happens later.
Mhm.
But yeah, that was Pig's 3 different ones. Amazing. And then, we all knew it was coming to close the set. The final 2025 animal does the 2025 animal thing.
It does it well.
It does it very
it's
well,
good.
like all the 2025 animals.
Yeah. I chose that point to actually take in some of the things that were happening in the concourse.
Yes.
So for Animal the Song, I was outside playing blackjack, betting Goont stickers in hopes to win small Buddha figurines, and I lost.
Yeah.
And then the jam started, and I had to leave the blackjack table. But so for folks who weren't there, throughout the venue, there's like a little, I don't know, carnival sideshow blackjack thing.
Yep.
And really in depth, like it wasn't just an afterthought. Somebody put hours and hours and hours of work into having this blackjack table. They had 3 different actors there. It was really, really cool.
Yeah.
And it's a damn shame that they beat me.
Yeah. Let's give while we're talking about the creative aspect of stuff, let's give a huge shout out to Will Thresher, who's the band's creative director, like mastermind behind a lot of the execution and everything behind Goosemas every year. So incredible.
And I like what they brought in this time. It feels like maybe not Bread and Puppet, but somebody associated with Bread and Puppet. But all the puppets they had brought out for the original or the first song, and then
Bear. Yeah.
Really look like Bread and puppets, which is the right kind of folks to bring in for that vibe, because the old Fish festivals, that's exactly what they did, is they just hired Bread and Puppet artists to create that experience. So those folks know what they're doing.
Right.
And those puppeteers were not just like amazing at operating the puppets, but I think someone else had mentioned it, but they were like legit dancing in time to the music too, which I thought was really fucking cool.
Yeah. The bear was like high-fiving people too.
Yeah. That was awesome. Being on the rail must have been cool for that. And then set break goes by. Oh, so this, by the way, the first set was an hour and 45 minutes long. So we're like, all right, this is Goosemas. Like, they are going to play for a long time. And I am very on board with that. No worries about curfew last night.
Right. And as I said to you, there's a direct correlation between 3-hour Goose shows and sick Goose shows. And we knew right at that moment that this was going to be at least 3 hours of music.
Yeah.
So
100%. Well, heading into the second set here, we start to get serious. Don't know what the theme was of the second set, other than really sick set of Goose. And I'm on board with that being the theme.
Yeah. What's the theme? Just sick show.
Yeah. Like next year, Goose, if you next year for Goosemas, just want to be like, we're going to play the best 2 shows of the year this weekend, and then just play the best 2 shows of the year. Like, I'm on board with that.
Yeah. Folks from Milwaukee are just grimacing right now. Saying that, but,
well, I mean like next year, if they want to make the theme of Goosemas the best 2 shows of the year, and then just play the best 2 shows of the year.
Fair.
Like in Colorado or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. or Wisconsin, apparently.
Yeah.
The way things are going this year. So set 2 comes out with So Ready. I think that's kind of like recentering, set the table for what's to come. As we were saying in one of our group chats, this set can go one of 2 ways after So Ready. And then when they started playing Arrow, they doubled down on this set can go one of 2 ways.
Very curious. We were nervous at this point.
Right. No, So Ready was ending, and friend of the pod, Jeff Hill, and I were like, this set can go one of 2 ways now. And then at the same time, we both sent again once Arrow started.
Amazing.
This can go one of 2 ways.
It went the way we had hoped.
Oh, did it ever? Evil Goose.
So evil, so grimy.
God.
I mean, there was a lot going on there. I think there were a lot of ideas percolating on stage. Rick goes to the talkback at one point in the jam and I was like, great, we're done.
Yep.
Damn it. And then they just get even grimier and dirtier.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
I think he went in the talkback and was like, hey, let's do some evil shit. Yeah.
Let's get grimier.
Let's get grimier and dirtier. Yeah. really, really get into the grime.
Given the time of year, we have to mention the context of these things. But if we're thinking about playlist jams, this one feels like a playlist jam. It feels like a decently high playlist jam. It's that good.
So that's the thing about this Arrow is it's 20 minutes of Arrow, which means the first half of the song almost is the song.
Yep.
But there's so much that happens once the jam gets going. We've long said things like Arrow doesn't get good until minute 18,
right?
Which can sometimes happen. But they did not spend that much time in Arrow proper in this jam. They very quickly started to venture off the path. And then, as you said, just getting darker and darker and darker, and Bogey coming in with the sax, and, you know, Peter coming in with the synth. Peter was on fire last night.
Yes.
Like really playing it. And I'll talk about it more when we get to the Mavon, you know, what he was doing in there. But the arrow, the very tasteful, like, synth washes, but there was a lot of piano from Peter last night. Not as much synth.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like one of the things that we noticed on Fall Tour is that we were not getting as many of Peter's ideas as we historically have gotten. And last night, it felt like he had kind of gone back to his old self.
Yeah.
Less time at the synth, more time on the piano. And I think the result is the improv was better.
Yeah.
So.
They also haven't toured in a long time. So maybe there's some of that.
Well, yeah, maybe, the, couple months off. I've been working on some stuff, or, thinking about things. But yeah, this arrow is absolutely spectacular. And then, they come down out of the jam and they go into Burn the Witch by Radiohead. I didn't know this song. Some of you may be surprised to know that. But wow, this is awesome. And Bogey stealing the show here. I mean, Radiohead is a great fit for these guys. We know that. True Love Waits, Weird Fishes, like, they nailed these songs. Rick did a fantastic job on the vocals here, but Bogey's baritone saxophone work on this tune,
so good,
incredible.
It made me feel things in my special places.
Yeah. It was, I mean,
my feet.
Yeah.
The growl from the baritone sax is so cool in this. Really, really awesome stuff that he was doing there. This was one of the moments where I think the sound was a challenge in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Rick was so reverbed up on the mic, which he's not on the recording.
Yeah.
But Rick was so reverbed up, I didn't even know what he was singing. I couldn't even parse out the words. So I know this song, and I didn't even realize that was what was being played. But I mean, the album that it's from is obscure. It's like late career Radiohead, but Rick really seems to like that one because that's the second tune off that album that he has covered. But
yeah,
I don't know. Obscure is the wrong word. That's totally the wrong word. But it's not like the albums that everybody knows. It's
right.
not,
not Kid A or
yeah, exactly.
There we go. And then Bogey walks off stage and they start playing Mavon. Now, this is the year of Mavon, as we already know. Aside from Westville and Boise, this is the year of Mavon.
They keep working on that song. It's going to be a viable jam vehicle
someday. They'll get there. They'll get there.
Once Rick figures out how to do the intro.
Yeah.
It's gonna take off.
He only whiffed one chord.
It's so funny. It's just like kind of like a sad trombone song. You just like the chord is so flat. It's just like perfectly flat in the moment, just to sound just like.
But man, but this jam, they start going, and obviously, like, it's going to be good. Again, it's like these are the last versions of these songs they're playing this year. The next shows aren't until April, sadly, or end of March. Jam in the streets, but this is like a very nice capstone to the year. And this is, again, I feel like we see at the end of every year, or I guess the last 2 years, like Goosemas last year, we kind of saw them really kind of expand what they were doing in terms of jamming. And there's this really cool moment early on in the Mavon where they're still in that like free space. Cotter is just starting to collect everyone together to kind of, start moving the jam forward. And there's this brief moment of conversation between Rick, Peter, and Trevor that was so cool to me on re-listen, because you don't get a lot of times where they're just kind of floating in space like that, and all three of them just kind of hook up on one thing and kind of throw melody back and forth just for a few seconds like that. And that stuck out to me on re-listen this morning as something that was really, really cool.
Yeah, it's funny. It has all the elements of jams of the past. So like you get a little bit of that Spectre Drive vibe.
Yep.
You get a little bit of like the Legend Valley Mavon vibe with the start. Yeah,
that was really cool though.
That was really cool.
Like, and I feel like sometimes jams like that. I don't think Goose usually does that, but like, Rick might go in the talk back and be like, do a stop start thing, which he didn't last night.
That felt like completely organic.
Yeah, well, it was really organic, and it happened so fast. Like Rick kind of started playing around with that idea, and so quickly, all three of the other guys were right on it.
Yep.
And it was like on a dime stop start, not just like mellow hard, like it was stop.
It was great.
Yeah. And then from there, you have this kind of like this like 2-chord, like kind of darker motif. This is where like Rick's tone, like that growl, that big chord that he hits.
Excellent.
His tone is really phenomenal. Right
Yeah, right now. So that bears mentioning specifically on this podcast. His tone right now sounds so good. So there were a few times last night where I was like, that is what he's always wanted to sound like. I think like he's creeping closer and closer to that sound he's been looking for.
Well, I mean, the peak of this Mavon, the second half, that like SPAC drive-ish kind of jam where they're just soaring and Rick is just like on fire.
Yep.
Like crystal clear sustain. Really, really incredible. This is a maybe top 20 jam, I think.
Maybe. I mean, we'll have to see.
I have to look at it.
I feel like I need some distance from Goosemas because this whole experience is super stimulating.
Yeah, you turned to me, I think, towards the end of Mavon, and you started to be like, like this Mavon is. And I was like, don't say what's about to come out of your mouth because it's wrong.
But like, I mean, like really, truthfully, like this is a good moment to kind of pause and talk about how awesome this whole experience is.
Either you need a beer.
No, I'm good. Actually, I'll have one. So in any case, where was I? completely lost my train of thought.
How special the experience is.
Oh yeah, the whole like night zero, which is absolutely amazing, and it's just like such a vibe. And I've been saying all weekend it's like a high school reunion where you actually want to talk to everybody that's there and like hand out like hugs and to see people and give slaps and all of these things. So you like have like this incredible moment of joy, and then you wake up in the morning and then you go and see Goose the next day.
It's pretty amazing.
And then like you go today to like the flow down and there's a line out the door and
by the way,
like hundreds of people.
Yeah. While we're on the topic, shout out to Caroline and everybody involved in putting on the flow down this afternoon at FET Music Hall. I mean, it's going on right now for another hour. I don't know if you go over there, if you'll be able to get in time, but it's totally packed in there. A lineup through the parking lot. Really, really incredible to see the community coming together, stuff like this, and again, thank you so much to everyone who was at Night Zero on Thursday.
And we were chatting about it again, not to digress too much here, but we were chatting about it a little bit like 3 years ago, what that looked like, what Night Zero looked like, what Flowdown looked like. And that shit is really cool to see that much support happening.
Yep. And, a lot of people put a lot of time into that. Kevin Johnson, of course, Jess from Femflock, and, Ryan. And Garrett and like all of our friends, they're there, and it's like such an amazing thing.
Yep,
it's really great.
It's amazing.
Not as great as the robe you're wearing.
That's true.
Speaking of shouting out Garrett,
paint your robe.
I was gonna like stand up in my robe.
Robe your dragon.
Yeah.
Kev, you got any more thoughts on this Mavon? Anything to add on that jam?
It's a great Mavon.
It's a great Mavon.
Yeah, it's pretty good. You should listen to it if you haven't yet.
There we go. And then from there, we get the Dripfield, the arena anthem, always reliable, like we got it on night one this year. And Bogey teases the Grippo lick from the 10-2-20 time to flee at the beginning of Drip. We were listening to it this morning, and like Bogey does like the ba ba ba, like at the beginning, that kind of like, and I was like to Neil, I was like, what is this? Like he's teasing something. I know that riff from somewhere.
CCP.
No, and Neil was like, you know what that is? That's the exact riff that Grippo plays when he walks on stage in the middle of the 10-2-20 time to flee. So if you thought that our brains were insane,
you were right.
You were right. No, you had no idea. It's worse.
It's just wrong.
It's not wrong.
But
I mean, he didn't do it on purpose. But
I knew the exact thing that you were thinking about, and I don't know. It's so nerdy. But in any case,
we're crazy.
Yeah,
it's cool to bond over mental illness.
That's what we're doing here on this podcast, Kevin.
Incredible.
But this trip is great,
and it does not disappoint. So as I alluded to earlier when we were talking about it, like Bogey kind of asserting himself, he does the dogfight with Rick in this thing, and it's incredible where it ends up. Short. It felt like it was way longer than
like 16 minutes or so.
Yeah, and then like
the track time says 20, but that includes the encore.
Yeah, it felt like it was like 25 to me. Actually, so did the Mavon. Like just like it, because the jamming was so rich.
Yeah,
that it just didn't. It just felt like there was more to it than that. Like because they got to so many spaces, like it had to be 20 minutes, right? But it wasn't. I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, they slipped into that kind of very smooth hose upbeat jam that they've done the last few drips. I'm thinking like Louisville and Richmond both kind of had that vibe. But yeah, great clav work from Peter also in the early part of the jam. But yeah, really Rick and Bogey locking in on that jam was really, really, really special.
Yeah, the big drip. It's a yearly tradition at Goosemas, you know.
Yeah, the big drip.
Yeah, always.
Exactly. After, it started in 2022 with the Redemption Colorado the Colorado Redemption drip that they didn't play at Red Rocks.
Yep.
And then solid one at Hampton.
Yep.
Starting the big night 2 Encore last year.
It was debuted at Goosemas.
It was also debuted at Goosemas.
Yep.
I was there.
You were there.
I ripped your arm off.
You ripped I'm still getting physical therapy.
My first show. And then speaking of special moments, this Encore.
Encore, man.
So can we just take a moment to appreciate writing this on the set list? So the written set list had Rosewood and then the 2 ending ballads. There, Jedstone was supposed to be in between Mavon and Drip. I love the change that they made.
Absolutely.
And the balls that it takes to go out into an arena after you've been blasting everybody in the face with Arrow and then Radiohead and then Mavon and then Dripfield and being we are going to play
shut the fuck up and
3 ballads.
Sing.
And yes, and remarkably, everybody shut the fuck up.
You didn't hear a pin drop.
At least where we were during the ending. I mean, Jedstone, I had a moment during that similar to Give It Time earlier this year, where it's you look around, everybody's singing along, everybody loves it. I mean, that song is it's so good.
It's amazing. And Rick's guitar solo in this is incredible. I haven't listened to it again. Actually, this is one of the things I haven't re-listened to yet. But my memory of it at the time was that was the best guitar solo he had played in that song. Because usually he plays the Jedstone's from 10 years ago. Same guitar solo.
Yeah.
It's nuts. He still plays the same one. But this one, there was a whole lot more to it, I think. He expanded on the themes in that solo, and the result was incredible. It just sounds, because he's so good at that style of soloing. You know, the appreciators of the Mission Arcadia. He's tapping into the same resource there.
Yeah.
And he does it incredibly well in this one. It's so good.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Are you guys so someone in the chat was napping and just showed up? Are you guys okay just taking this from the top?
Tempe?
We'll just start
Tempe, yeah.
Take it from
Let's
the top.
go again. For those of you who are just joining us now, much like you don't have to listen to our 3-hour episodes all in one go, you can rewind this episode.
And then play it at 2x.
Yeah, exactly. You might catch up by the time we're done. But so after Jedstone, we get 2 cover debuts. First, Master and a Hound by Gregory Alan Isakov. Didn't know this song. Amazing. So Cotter walked off stage before this. This was really cool also, the way that they did this. Everyone kind of leaving right into Sugar Mountain by Neil Young with just Rick and Peter, and then eventually just Rick. And
that was fucking gorgeous.
Wow. The attention from the crowd. And I imagine that Rick walking off stage after that, you got to feel pretty good to be able to hold an entire arena full of people in the palm of your hand like that. And they're hanging on every word of just you and your guitar.
I mean, it was a special moment. I think sometimes you're at a show and you're a lot of times I'm at a show and I'm that was one of the best things I've ever seen, but every once in a while you're actually right about that. And so, but my point is, when you experience something like that, that this is something people are going to talk about for a long time. I assume this is going to be talked about for a while. That performance was incredible. And again, I say this all the time, but that's what you get from Goose that you don't get from jam bands, is that performance right there. That vocal performance with just the charisma and the energy in that room. It was just Rick, it was all Rick, and he laid it all out there. And honestly, the years imposter syndrome kind of stuff, where it's just I can't stand in front of everybody and do this thing. He's not a cocky guy,
right? But also knowing the kind of people you have to. There's a certain amount of trust that they put in the crowd last night, and I feel we've talked about this a bunch of times this year. I think about shows that I was at earlier in the year, like the Wilmington All I Need. The second that they got a little bit quiet in that jam, everybody started talking. And I think they're putting trust in the Goosemas crowd, that the people that are here this weekend want to be here. They really want to be a Goose. some people who are like still checking it out because it's local, probably, but the vast majority people are here and really excited to see Goose. And so the band is able to put the trust in the crowd for doing something like this.
One does not travel to Providence, Rhode Island in December unless you really want to be there.
This is true. This is true. Really, playing it here is like, who really wants to be at Goosemas? Like,
so I was at Olneyville getting hot wieners today, and they were delicious. And if you're in Rhode Island for Goosemas, go get some hot wieners. They're awesome, local delicacy. But convinced the guy who was serving us hot wieners to go to the show today. He had never heard of Goose before. He's like, they're like a jam band. I'm like, yeah, and he's like, I might buy a ticket. I was like, great.
Hell yeah.
So,
well, if you see a guy that you recognize from Olneyville, go say hi.
Yeah.
Are you the master of wieners that Neil talked to earlier today?
People are like dying over the hot wiener thing on the internet. You know, like I've lived with this my whole life. Like, so hot wieners aren't like really funny to me, but like I get it.
It's the novelty's not there for you.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of things you should do if you're at the show tonight, outside section 104, there is a Nugs photo booth, purple couch. Get your picture taken. There's a little social media giveaway situation happening. Very exciting stuff. You should go check that out.
Really friendly folks. I was
really
over there.
Friendly folks.
Yeah.
We got a picture last night. It was good.
Together?
We did one together, and then we did one without me, so Neil can enter the contest because I'm not eligible to enter said contest. Well, what do we think is going to happen tonight? Like, I have less
Wisteria dance party, baby.
Wisteria Goons.
So no Goons last night.
No Goons.
I actually like the no Goons approach.
Yeah, I don't think we are going to get Goons tonight.
Maybe not.
I would quite enjoy Goons with the current light rig situation that's happening in there, which we haven't talked about yet. Getty and Tony and Spadaro and everybody else. Wow.
Yep.
Thank you, by the way, for your hard work and saving the technical difficulties at the beginning of the show. But this rig is ridiculous.
So good.
It's insane. The things that he's able to do with, like, it's got a whole like a U shape covering the whole arena. And he's still got the curtain. I think this is the first year where the Goosemas rig has been that year's light rig plus,
right,
instead of just a completely different rig. So we had the same rig that we've seen all summer and fall. Still keeping the curtain, which got some heavy use, but yeah, amazing.
Yeah, incredible job,
amazing stuff.
I mean, like all around, everything was done just right.
Yeah.
And it does feel like a finely crafted experience, all of this.
I feel like, but they've gotten so good at that the last few years, 2022 being the last, I guess, quote unquote, normal Goosemas. The last 3 years have been this they plan out both shows very meticulously. There are the themes, there are the extra props and people involved and whatever. And I think all 3 years they've done something totally different and really executed it well. And
and say, you have no other job. You're just going to craft these experiences for us. And
I mean, I don't know. He might do that.
But like, I mean, he did a great job with Gonzo.
Yep.
And like, he had help with that. There were like other people involved, and he's doing this thing, and it's incredible. It's cool.
It's really good. Goosemas.
Yeah.
Kevin, anything?
No, that was pretty succinct.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah. Look at this. Only 38 minutes in.
Brevity.
It's not bad.
Yeah, we're really good at this. Well, we are gonna get ready. If you are around the area, I believe, come out to the bar in the convention center walkway. That's where we're kind of.
It's a cool little bar.
Gonna be hanging out.
We're gonna hang out. We'll be there soon. But yeah, if you're walking from the Omni Hotel to the venue, there's a bar in the convention center.
Like the middle of the walkway.
It's literally you're walking through a convention center and there just happens to be a bar. It may have been a mirage yesterday. You're walking there and it's like
sat down and
a
drank
bar. Well, I mean, people drink from an oasis in the middle of the desert. Doesn't mean it was actually there.
Not if it's a mirage, Ryan.
Yeah, I know. No, but like they think they did. Maybe you and Haps imagined it. You were just wandering around and.
That was a hell of an imaginary Kettle One.
There you go. Well, we'll see everybody out there tonight. Really, really excited. Our day after show for tonight's show will be on Monday, due to some travel tomorrow.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing what Goose has in store for us tonight.
Yeah.
Final show of 2025. It's going to be a good one. And as a reminder, tonight is the final show of 2025, which means the final show of Jam of the Year consideration. Seating will be opening up on Monday.
Jotty of the year.
Jody of the year, Jotty of the year. We've got a lot of very exciting stuff in store. Neil has been very hard at work on some very exciting things that we are very excited to share with you. The security on the back end has never been tighter.
Yep. He's plugging in lots of cables.
Yep.
It's true.
Yep. The server farm that we purchased in Indonesia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did tour the data center a couple of weeks ago. I mean, we're ready. It's like a big
That's
deal.
why you said you were under the weather a couple of weeks ago, but that was a red herring. You were actually in Indonesia looking at the server
Always
farm in the
almost
bracket.
chaos.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, yes, it is almost bracket season. We will share a lot more information about that on Monday. So look for that. But we love you all. Thank you so much for joining us here on this Saturday afternoon. Have a great show, whether you're at home watching the stream or in Providence. And we will see you very soon. This has been Always Almost There, Day After Show Live.
Potent fruiting bodies.
Goo.
Mushrooms.
Mushrooms.
Mother's milk.